Hey everyone, it's Sandra and I'm filming in my basement right now and it's really cold. I even tucked my hair in my turtleneck for extra warmth. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Thought I would make a video on acne spot treatments because it's something that I'm all too familiar with. I've been struggling with acne for 10 years now. So I have had my fair share of experimentation when it comes to spot treatments. I've tried a lot of different ones and I actually have 5 in my skincare arsenal right now. So I thought I would go through the 5 that I have, kind of let you know what I like, what I don't like about them. So I will start with this, which I got from Amazon, and it's the BHA Blackhead Power Liquid, and it sounds very boom. It sounds like it would pack a punch. It's actually extremely gentle. You only need a little bit. You only need about a pump of this. I actually just use it in the areas where I am prone to blackheads. Sometimes I will use it on areas if I feel like I have a blemish coming soon, or if there's any congestion in the skin, I will apply this with a cotton pad. It feels very hydrating. It's definitely not, it's not just like water. It feels like it's got a little bit of something extra, but at the same time, it's not sticky or greasy like some other Paula's Choice BHA liquids that I have tried. So I do like this better than the Paula's Choice ones in terms of texture, but in terms of efficacy, I can't really say that I have noticed a difference using this. But I've only been using this for about 3 weeks and I don't use it every day. I haven't been using it religiously every single day. So I'm gonna keep using it, and if I notice any miraculous difference, I will report back. But this is what I've been using right now for blackheads. So the jury is still out on this, but it was relatively inexpensive and it was worth a try. Another thing I got from the wonderful world of Amazon is this. This is by the same brand. So the brand is COSRX, and it's a Korean skincare brand, by the way. So the next thing I got is this Clinical Skincare Acne Pimple Master Patch. Little patches that you put on blemishes, you put it on overnight, and then it's supposed to help reduce inflammation and help heal the blemish. And this is what they look like. So it's like a silicone-y patch that sticks onto your skin. It comes in a variety of different sizes, and most of the writing in the packaging is in Korean, but it does have a set of English instructions as well. Then it says, do not change the patch until the size of the acne gets reduced and allow the patch to absorb the impurities sufficiently. So these patches are supposed to draw out the infection and the impurities in the skin, and I've only ever used them overnight. I've gone through almost a whole package of these. I actually keep them at my boyfriend's house. You don't want to terrorize him with acne dots all over your face. I mean, I don't care. I have slept with lots of pink and white dots all over my face from other spot treatments that I've tried over the years, but this is definitely a more discreet option. It really conceals the pimple. If you have like an angry red cystic bump, you put this on top, it just kind of makes it look more calm. It takes that red look away, and while it doesn't miraculously reduce or get rid of pimples overnight, it definitely calms it down and it stops it from getting worse. And in the morning when you peel it off, you can see that it draws, it almost looks like it has trapped oil in it. So any oil that would have gone into your blemish, making your blemish bigger and more angry, it actually gets trapped and absorbed by this patch. So these are cool, especially if you don't get breakouts very often, and if your breakouts tend to be more cystic and not whiteheads. I wouldn't use something like this on a whitehead, but if you get cystic bumps, these might be worth a try, and they're only about a couple dollars from Amazon. The next 2 I wanted to talk about are my favorite, and they are both by Somerville, and I use them both in different ways. They have different active ingredients. So the first is the Somerville Anti-Bac Lotion. I have talked about this many times before. This is a 5% benzoyl peroxide spot treatment lotion. The lotion name might be a little misleading. Do not use this as a lotion all over your face. Only use it on your blemishes. I just take about half a pump of this. It comes in a nice airtight container with a pump. I take about half a pump of it and just slightly dot it on the blemishes that I have, and then I go to sleep. I find this really effective, especially on whiteheads, and this is also really effective if you have just popped a pimple and you want to make sure that it doesn't regenerate into a new pimple the next day. Sometimes that happens if you pop a blemish and you don't get all the crap out of there, it might just scab and then a new zit will grow too, and that's even worse. So applying this to the area after you have popped a pimple, or if a pimple has popped itself, sometimes that happens, especially if you use a washcloth at night, put on the area will just help reduce inflammation and just kill all the bacteria, because that is what benzoyl peroxide does. Benzoyl peroxide kills the acne causing bacteria, so it's a disinfectant. I don't find benzoyl peroxide that effective on cystic acne. Cystic acne is deep in the skin, and sometimes I feel like an ingredient like benzoyl peroxide does not penetrate into the skin deep enough to help treat those blemishes, which is why I like salicylic acid for that. And this is Kate Somerville Eradikate. This contains salicylic acid and sulfur. They're both anti-acne ingredients, and it has like a pink powdery residue at the bottom and suspended in a liquid. So you just take a Q-tip, you put the Q-tip in the pink powder at the bottom, and then you dot it all over your face. Both of these, when I use them at night, I use them as the very last step of my skincare. So at the very end, after my oil and moisturizer, serum, after everything, I put on my spot treatment and then I go to sleep. So I use the Eradikate on more cystic blemishes, but it also works well on whiteheads. This is really good, and I've also tried the Mario Badescu drying lotion before. It's a very similar product. I honestly can't tell you if this is more effective than the Mario Badescu. I've had a couple of comments from people saying that they like the Mario Badescu better. I just find Kate Somerville as a brand is more accessible to me. I can get it from a store where I live, whereas I can't do that with Mario Badescu. So I just prefer the Kate Somerville because it's easier for me to get. Unfortunately, this Kate Somerville Anti-Bac is not available in Canada. I got it at Sephora in the United States, and it seems to be exclusive to the United States at the moment. I'm not sure why, but there is a product by Paula's Choice that is very similar to this. It's the Paula's Choice Clear Daily Skin Clearing Treatment. It's 5% benzoyl peroxide lotion. This is a little bit lighter in texture than the Kate Somerville, so it doesn't stay put as a spot treatment. It kind of tends to run a little bit because it's more watery. And I also find this a little bit more drying. What I love about the Kate Somerville is that even though benzoyl peroxide tends to be a really drying ingredient and sometimes it can make your skin flaky dry, this doesn't do that. It's really concentrated, but it's hydrating at the same time. I do get some dryness and some flaking when I use this product, so the Kate Somerville is a little bit more gentle, even though they have the same percentage of benzoyl peroxide. If you don't have access to the Kate Somerville Anti-Bac, or if you're on a budget, you might want to check out the Paula's Choice Clear, because this is pretty good too. So that is it. Those are all the acne spot treatments that I am using right now. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to put it below. I do find from my personal experience, for me, benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid work best for my blemishes. That might not be the case for you. You might be sensitive or allergic to some of the ingredients, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a dermatologist by any means. I'm just a beauty enthusiast that has struggled with acne for way too long, so I've tried a bunch of stuff. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!